Welcome back to Network Africa Now. The survival of children in Malawi is being threatened by severe food insecurity. A United Nations report shows that there's been a 100% increase in malnutrition from December 2015 up until January 2016. This year, over 4,000 cases of severe malnutrition were recorded across the country, which is more than double the cases in December of 2015.
The whole vicious cycle of malnutrition hit the children, and children become severe acute malnourished in the process, which is 9 times more vulnerable to death, and also it is the life-threatening part of malnutrition. So it's cause of concern for Malawi.
Now, I understand that we have Mr. Jean-Regis Nduimana joining us again on the program to speak regarding what the development in Burundi now that Mr. Ban Ki-moon, the UN Secretary General, has confirmed that President Nkurunziza is willing to dialogue with the opposition and will go ahead to do that right now. Mr. Nduimana, thank you very much for staying on the line. Mr. Nduimana, thank you for joining us again on the program. I was asking about your thoughts regarding what the president has said, that he will release 2,000 prisoners and also negotiate with the opposition. Well, when our technical team succeeds in getting Mr. Nduimana, we will speak to him, hopefully. But for now, this time last week, the United Nations issued a warning of signals that an early start of the lean season would possibly lead to a hunger period of unprecedented length. As many as 2.8 million people, nearly 25% of the country's population, require urgent food assistance, and at least 40,000 people are on the brink of disaster. Last week, the World Food Programme managed to send a test convoy from government held by the opposition Jonglei state and crossing lines with aid for the first time since December of 2013. Until then, aid had reached the area rarely and only by airdrops.
The recent analysis shows that 2.8 million face acute hunger post-harvest. This is just immediately after harvest. What that means is that this year we're going to see the lean period, start much earlier, and we're going to see many more people facing acute hunger over time.
Well, for more on this unfortunate development in South Sudan, we're joined from Juba by the Chief of Communications for UNICEF, Mr. Timothy Irwin. Mr. Irwin, thank you very much for joining us on Network Africa. Now, we know that South Sudan has made relative progress in resolving its 3-year conflict. Why does the hunger still linger?
Well, as recently as last week, we had an incident in the North Country in which 18 people were killed in what's known as protection of civilian sites. So sadly, the insecurity of the violence is continuing in many parts of the country, and it's for that reason. People are so disappointed because actually, as a media analyst, I can say that it's a strategy that some organizations is the same, the army is the same political party. So now it's happening question because most of people who are who were hosting some program, the people who are in people, those are out.
Mr. Nduimana, thank you very much for joining us. Perhaps the line will be a lot better tomorrow, but thank you for joining us on Network Africa. Still to come on the program, Egypt sentences a 4-year-old boy to life behind bars and calls the move a mistake. We have the latest from Cairo.